Chosen one, breathe for a moment and listen. Not every loss was an attack. Not every ending was a tragedy. Not every door that closed was the enemy. Some things had to leave your life because they could no longer go where God is taking you. You thought you were losing everything, but heaven was clearing space. There are seasons where God removes what is familiar so He can introduce what is necessary. And removal hurts, not because God is cruel, but because we often hold tightly to what He has already outgrown. You held on to people who were never meant to stay. You stayed in environments that were draining your spirit. You clung to old versions of yourself because change felt too uncertain. But God, in His mercy, began to shift things. He allowed conversations to fade. He allowed connections to dissolve. He allowed certain paths to collapse, not to harm you, but to protect your destiny. Because some relationships would have limited your growth. Some doors would have delayed your calling. Some comforts would have kept you small. God does not subtract without intention. He does not remove without replacement. He does not close without preparing something greater. Think of Ruth. She lost everything: her husband, her stability, her future as she imagined it. But what looked like devastation became the doorway to destiny. Because when she followed God's direction, she didn't just find provision, she found purpose. She didn't just find survival, she found legacy. She became part of the lineage of kings. What she lost positioned her for what she was meant to receive. And the same is happening in your life. Some of you are still grieving things God already released. You're replaying endings that heaven already resolved. You're questioning decisions God already confirmed. But the truth is, if it left, it was not aligned. If it broke, it could not sustain destiny. If it ended, it could not follow you forward. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being repositioned. There are blessings ahead that require room, new connections that require emotional space, new assignments that require clarity, new favor that requires freedom. God cannot pour new wine into old containers. He cannot build new purpose on unstable foundations. He cannot elevate what is still tied to what is expired. So He allowed the shaking, the disappointment, the separation, the confusion, the breaking, not to destroy you, but to free you. Because what's coming needs a version of you that is lighter, stronger, wiser, and more surrendered. You're not losing your life, you're shedding what was never meant to be permanent, and slowly you're becoming someone new. Your discernment is sharper, your standards are higher, your spirit is quieter but stronger, your peace is no longer negotiable. That's growth. And growth always precedes expansion. You may not see it yet, but doors are aligning, moments are forming, connections are being arranged, opportunities are shifting in your favor. What you thought was ending was actually transition. What you thought was loss was actually preparation. What you thought was breaking was actually birthing. And soon you will look back and realize, if that hadn't left, this could never arrive. If that hadn't ended, this would never begin. If that hadn't broken, this would never be built. God is not taking from you. He is making room for you.
Chosen one, if you are still listening, it's because your spirit recognizes something familiar in this message. Not hype, not emotion, but truth. You didn't imagine the shift. You didn't exaggerate the loss. You didn't misunderstand the separation. Something really did change. People who once felt close suddenly felt distant. Places that once felt safe suddenly felt heavy. Conversations that once flowed suddenly felt forced. And you kept asking God, why is everything falling apart? But heaven was asking a different question. Are you finally ready to move forward? Because some seasons don't end gently. Some transitions require disruption. Some alignments require uncomfortable separation. Not because you were rejected, but because you were outgrowing what you once tolerated. God will never allow you to stay connected to what will eventually break you. You didn't lose them. You outgrew the assignment. You didn't fall behind. You were being repositioned. You didn't miss your chance. You were being protected from the wrong one. Some people were only meant to walk with you to a certain point. Some doors were only meant to open temporarily. Some opportunities were only meant to teach you, not keep you. And when their season ended, it hurt because your heart was genuine. You gave loyalty, you gave patience, you gave effort, you gave love. But not everything you poured into was designed to hold your destiny. God had to step in, not to punish you, but to rescue you from staying too long in what no longer fit. That's why the ending felt sudden. That's why the shift felt confusing. That's why the silence felt uncomfortable. Because transition always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. But now, look at you. You see more clearly. You tolerate less. You feel stronger spiritually. You move differently emotionally. You protect your peace intentionally. That's not coincidence. That's growth. God has been pruning you, not to harm you, but to prepare you for greater fruit. Because elevation requires space. Calling requires clarity. Purpose requires separation. You cannot carry expired connections into new seasons. You cannot hold old identities and still walk into new assignments. You cannot receive what's next while clinging to what's over. So God allowed the shaking. He allowed discomfort to reveal truth. He allowed distance to expose reality. He allowed endings to make room for beginnings. And now something is changing within you. You are no longer chasing what once chased you. You are no longer begging for what once felt essential. You are no longer afraid of being alone, because God has been teaching you strength. The kind of strength that doesn't depend on validation. The kind of peace that doesn't require approval. The kind of confidence that doesn't collapse when people leave. That kind of strength only comes from divine transformation. And here's what you don't see yet. While you were healing, God was aligning. While you were letting go, God was arranging. While you were rebuilding, God was preparing doors. You think nothing is happening, but movement is happening in places you cannot see. Conversations about you, opportunities forming, divine connections approaching, moments being scheduled by heaven. And when they arrive, they won't feel forced. They won't feel confusing. They won't feel draining. They will feel peaceful. They will feel aligned. They will feel familiar in the spirit. Because what is sent by God carries peace, not pressure. The loss was not your punishment. It was your preparation. The separation was not your failure. It was your repositioning. And soon, you will see why it all had to happen this way. Chosen one, this is where the story changes. Not on the outside first, but on the inside. Because before God changes your environment, He always changes your alignment. And something inside of you has already shifted. You don't chase the same things anymore. You don't beg the same people anymore. You don't tolerate the same energy anymore. You don't fear the same silence anymore. That is not distance. That is discernment. You have crossed an invisible line spiritually. You're no longer who you were in survival mode. You are becoming who you were always called to be. And heaven is responding. You may not see fireworks yet. You may not hear loud announcements, but movement has begun. Behind the scenes, things are repositioning. Conversations are happening you know nothing about. Opportunities are forming before you're even aware of them. Doors are aligning without your effort. Not because you pushed them open, but because the season finally changed. You see, timing matters in the spirit. You could have been ready before, but the environment was not ready. You could have had the gift before, but the structure was not prepared. You could have had the calling before, but the protection was not in place. So God waited, not to deny you, but to preserve you. Now the conditions are different. You are different. Your discernment is sharper. Your boundaries are stronger. Your spirit is quieter, but more grounded. Your faith is no longer emotional, it's anchored. That's when God moves. Not when you're desperate, but when you're stable. Not when you're broken, but when you're ready. Not when you're searching, but when you're aligned. That's where you are now. Some of you will begin noticing small confirmations first. A conversation that answers a prayer you never spoke aloud. A door opening effortlessly where effort once failed. A connection forming naturally where confusion once existed. A peace settling where anxiety once ruled. These are not coincidences, they are signals. Because when God transitions a season, He sends markers. Subtle at first, but undeniable. You won't need to announce your next chapter. Life will announce it for you. People will begin treating you differently, respect you differently, approach you differently, perceive you differently. Not because you changed for them, but because the authority on your life has shifted. Favor has weight. Alignment has presence. Purpose carries atmosphere. And when someone begins walking in divine timing, the room can feel it. You may not even realize how far you've come, but look back. Look at how you handle disappointment now. Look at how you respond to silence now. Look at how you walk away from what isn't aligned now. Look at how you choose peace over proving now. That's maturity. That's growth. That's preparation completed. And here's the truth most people don't tell you. The blessing doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives peacefully. It doesn't always feel overwhelming. Sometimes it feels like relief. Because when God sends what is truly for you, it doesn't feel chaotic. It doesn't feel confusing. It doesn't feel draining. It feels like alignment, like recognition, like ease, like confirmation. That's how you'll know. You won't have to force it. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to convince it. What is meant for you will flow toward you. And what misses you was never assigned to you. You are not entering a season of noise. You are entering a season of clarity. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into order. You are not walking into confusion. You are walking into confirmation. This is where things begin to make sense. This is where you stop questioning your journey. This is where you stop doubting your process. This is where you finally understand why it had to unfold the way it did. Because if you skipped the pain, you would have lacked the wisdom. If you skipped the delay, you would have missed the discernment. If you skipped the isolation, you would have lacked the strength. You are ready now. Not perfect, not finished, but aligned. And alignment attracts destiny. What you prayed for is no longer distant. What you hoped for is no longer abstract. What you believed for is no longer delayed. It is approaching, quietly, intentionally, divinely.